Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome to Total Freedom Thursday. This is where Devan and we come live and we just talk about total freedom. So let's see. Oh, there he goes. Okay. Yep.
Hey babe, how you doing?
Okay, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
That's good. That's good
How
to know. That's good to know. I'm great.
you doing? Okay. So hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Total Freedom Thursdays with Devin and where we talk about total freedom. That is financial freedom, emotional freedom, time freedom, and travel you're watching from. And then also, if you're watching live, put a one in the comments. If you're watching the replay, comment two. And yeah, I'm just ready to get started. So, is it breaking up? Can you hear me?
Your on my side, your screen's like buffering, frozen.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly,
Hello,
but
hello.
your face is like just frozen.
Yeah, I can see that. Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll show you after.
Okay. So, how you doing, Devan? Maybe it'll fix
I'm doing
itself.
amazing. Yeah. It'll fix itself. It'll fix itself. But no, all is
Yeah,
amazing.
good.
Um, fixated, obsessed with the vision, the mission, the goals of empowering not only myself and us and others, more importantly others, to live a life of total freedom.
Mhm.
Spent some time today with my family. Um, it's been great. It like kind of reminded me as well of why I'm doing what I do, and yeah, it's very cool. It's like sometimes it's good to have like that laughter, that kind of just kind of really build upon those relationships as well that you have in your life, and they kind of fuel you in a way where it's kind of healing as well. It's like refreshing. So it's like sometimes when you're
Yeah.
like you're just super intensified and like super honed in on your work, but then you give yourself that day of, as you like to say, grace. Like you give yourself that day of,
Yeah.
okay, this is something that I planned. Like this was planned, a planned distraction. So it's like it's not affecting me. It's not affecting my mental momentum. It's not affecting the direction my mind is already was going in the first place. So it's not really stopping the motion, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
it was definitely needed. Yeah, it was definitely needed. How about yourself?
All is amazing. I mean, definitely just finishing the last minute things that need to be done before going into the new year. So just catching up on a lot of the last minute lingering tasks that need to be done. But um yeah, everything is going amazing. I'm really excited about the new year and just really stepping things up. Yeah, that's where I am. So what are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about today?
You was gonna tell me, remember? So you wanted to talk about a personal economic development plan. Did you tell us what that is?
Yes. So I'm not gonna lie. I heard that word maybe a couple weeks ago. I heard that phrase a couple weeks ago, and pretty
Yeah,
much, ultimately, it's really just taking ownership of your finances. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
um, being, being responsible for your financial future. Right. That's
hmm
ultimately what it's about. So, you know, like, especially now, it's like, what are we doing, that's going to give us certainty in our finances? A lot of people
yeah,
don't really like to talk about money, But at the end of the day, I feel like that's not real. You can't not talk about money. You shouldn't
Yeah.
not understand it, because money affects us whether we want it to or not. It's just the world that we live in. We didn't create this world. I mean, we were born into it. So
Mhm.
that's just how the world works. Like, even if you don't know anything about money, or even if you believe money is bad, or you just don't like talking about it, I mean, it still affects you. And that is, why you go make income in order to live. You can't live without income, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and so personal economic development plan.
You got it.
It's pretty much, instead of worrying about um the government and the president and
Mhm.
him and her, it's really taking responsibility for for yourself, and
Yeah, yeah.
saying, hey, I'm gonna make sure, no matter if a pandemic comes, no matter if my car breaks
Mhm.
down, no matter
Yeah.
what's going to happen, I'm going to make sure that my household is taken care of. And then also, once your household is taken care of, you also can help other people who need help. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's ultimately what it means for me. What about for you? What does it mean for you?
So I mean, the key word for me is plan. Um, so to be able to create your own economy, the ability to take ownership of your personal economy as the economy around you is developing. You know what I mean? And being
Mm-hmm.
able to adapt and plan around that, and plan ahead as well. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know, like the other day was the fourth day of Kwanzaa, isn't it? So, and
Yeah.
that was Ujama, and that kind of deals with, hey, in
Hi.
in the comments. So yeah, it was dealing with cooperative economics, and that's like it's like a principle, it's a topic that's not really spoken about much,
Mm-hmm.
just in the communities, or just in general conversation. You know what I mean? In
Mm-hmm.
general, in the families, in the communities, it's like sometimes an unspoken verb, an unspoken rule that doesn't happen. Like, but like the more we adopt a way of doing economics where it benefits each other, like a win-win relationship, and
Mm-hmm.
it's cooperative in terms of not only builds your family, builds yourself, it builds the community, and it has strong values and strong visions.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's attached to that type of plan, your personal economy should grow by default. You know what I mean? So it's
Mm-hmm.
um like invest in preparation, like invest in your future. Invest in what you doing in this wherever you live. Like, is that being affected by the government around you? Is it being affected by these taxes? Is it being affected about all of these other stuff? Like, how is it really affecting you? Like, for example, you live in USA.
Mm-hmm.
USA is a corporation. Like, it's not even that's another story about countries and corporations. But US is a corporate. USA, I know, right? USA is a corporation, and literally, it's a capitalist based society. But like, kind of like, let's say 80% of Americans don't even deal with their economy, or deal with their finances, or deal with um. They don't even know what they want to do with their money. Really, they don't have a plan for
Mm-hmm.
their money, but they live in a society that is based around money.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting. I mean, the same as over here in the UK. Um, but yeah, really having a plan, because I remember it's funny. This is funny because it's like having a plan and having that awareness as well. Because I remember when I was younger, and I wasn't taught about money, because I didn't really care about it really. I'm just being serious. I didn't care about money. I didn't even have an appreciation for it, for what it really did. And usually when you appreciate something, it appreciates for you and with it around your life. And that's kind of like the
Mhm.
abundance mentality that is kind of left from societies and communities and stuff like that as well, is the fact that money is a tool.
Mhm.
And I didn't really realize this, but there was a time where I was unconsciously doing it because of doing cooperative economics by sharing value across the playground, like sharing sweets with other people, and then they just like give me some 50p coins or stuff like that for in exchange for it. So it's exchanging value, but it was making me happy. It was like a win relationship. Like, you know what, like bartering. You know what I'm saying? And then one day it's like we got banned from selling on the playground because we wasn't allowed to sell sweets because the school was providing it apparently,
Mm.
and that left an imprint on me. Whereas like I associated um money in a negative light now all of a sudden
Mm.
because of what it represented, or what I was made to feel it represented,
Mm.
and it made me feeling bad for having the money. So, for example, when I would make a lot of money when I was younger, I would buy everyone presents and stuff like that, and then I wouldn't have really nothing for myself. But kind of subconsciously, I was pushing it away from myself, even though like money flows freely and abundantly all the time. And it's like a few years down the line where I really got into not only personal development, but personal understanding personal development as it relates to my economy and the fact that if I have money, I could do more with what I have, and I could be more with what I have, and I can do more for others as I'm growing my personal economy, as I'm developing as a person as well. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
yeah, personal economic development plan is very important because it's planning like who you want to be for yourself as well at the
Mm.
same time.
Yeah.
And like money and economics allows you to it creates that foundation for you to really operate and be yourself and build a legacy.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree with that. I honestly believe the same. I
Your
feel
conscious has
like
a question and yeah, yeah. Go on. Say your part.
you want to answer the question right now.
No, no. Say your part, and then we can answer your conscious's question.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I definitely agree. I do feel like, if people if people didn't have to worry about income, I feel like people will be a lot happier, and I also just feel like people could actually be themselves. I feel like the reason why so many people don't know who they are, or
Mhm.
a lot of people aren't happy, or they are just flowing through life, is
Yeah.
because they are focused on the wrong thing, right? I've always had this
Focus. Yeah.
this I never, I will say, like, I've always had like this affinity towards money.
Hmm.
I was kind of like, I don't want to say I was scared of it, but I was always cautioned about it because nobody else around me, everybody else around me complained about it, or was scared about it. And so just growing up in my life, I was just always so confused. I'm like, and I mean, I guess just from like watching like my mom and everything, I knew you
Hmm.
could make money because we always like had the things. So I'm just like, it can't be that hard because, people, and I for me, just being my little naive self, but I'm just living like, I would meet different people or different adults, and I'm like, you
Hmm.
know look at all these people, they they are well off because they have all these things. But now I know, as an adult, they were just in debt and they were just swiping that credit card, but I didn't know that younger.
Yeah.
But I just felt like money, it should be something that we should embrace and run into. Like, I've always felt like risky. I've always been risky, meaning
Yeah.
like, if it's something that I want, or I wanted to put my money out there, I will, I would get it. But at the same time, I just was always confused because I'm like, these people gotta have money because look at all the things they have. Again, from a
Yeah.
young kid's mind, like, but I didn't realize these people just had a whole bunch of debt. But because I guess I felt their energy around money. For me,
Yeah.
I was just like, and as I got older and I learned about debt and student loans and stuff, I was like, I really didn't understand it. But that was one reason why I actually joined the military, because I was like, these people gonna pay for me to go to school and they gonna pay me. Like, I don't want to work at no factory because I'm from a small
Yeah,
town, so everybody works at a factory, you know, at the time, and
it's
you
crazy.
know, I would get debt, and I was like, I don't want neither one of them things. So that's why I actually was like,
Yeah,
joining the military. And so I've always been in like position to not really have a hard time with money, but I still couldn't understand, like, so like even now, like some things just doesn't make sense. Like, one girl tried to play me because I guess I was just talking from a ignorant standpoint, but I really just didn't understand, like, to me it's not that hard. Like, you can look at your future by the people
yeah,
that are around you. So I guess
yeah,
subconsciously I just knew, hey, I never got a credit card. Now I need a credit card because I need to use it for leverage, right? But I've always
yeah,
paid everything in cash. I mean, of course I've had, like, I got a loan on my house, I got a loan on my, well, I had a loan on my car, but I knew to pay it off. But in my mind,
yeah,
I just never understood how people could get, and like, this is literally little ignorant on me, right? This is not like judging anybody, but I
yeah,
guess for me, going back to the story, like, this one girl, she was like talking to me, and I guess I said something that, you know, she said something about like student loan debt, and and she was like, yeah, I went to college, like it's okay to have student loan debt, and maybe it is, but for me, I was just like,
mm,
I, in my mind, I'm like, it's not
yeah.
okay to
It's
like
not.
be
Yeah,
stuck under debt your entire life. So I guess it's all about perspective. But I mean, yeah, like, so I saw people who went to college and then, you know, not working in the career field that they deeply desired because of money. And then also I
mhm,
just seen people who had all these things, but they were stuck under debt because of money. So for me, I was like, well, I ain't never getting on credit card and I ain't going to school. Even though that probably was the
yeah,
wrong mindset, I just knew, like, I didn't want to be a slave to money. So, but now, like, after educating myself and like, okay, boom, I definitely need a credit card, but I know how, I feel like, you know, from my experience, I know, like, boom, because I just pay everything off on cash, and my CPA, he like, girl, like, no, you need to put everything on your credit card and then pay it off, you know. And I've always just been afraid to do that because I'm like, I don't want to mess up my credit. But,
mhm,
you know, so it just always tripped me out that like people around didn't get the hint. Like, if you
yeah.
get a credit
Critical
card and you
thinking.
mess up your credit,
Yeah,
you're gonna be stuck under that. I never wanted to be stuck under that. If that makes sense, you know.
yeah, yeah. So it's like a thing of like critical thinking, and like sometimes it's also it's a relationship. It's a relationship. Your personal relationship with economics, your personal relationship with money, your personal relationship with what money means to you. Again, what it represents. So it's like a lot of societies live in have an external relationship with money.
Mm.
Like they it's like they're not trying to keep it. They just want it. They just want it out of sight, out of mind.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And
Wow.
then it's that it's not an alignment, so it doesn't really correlate. There's no flow. There's no in and out. It's just
Mm-hmm.
out.
Mm.
So it doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it doesn't
I
give
was
no
gonna say, or it's
consideration.
in, or it's just in. But you're right, it's a relationship, and I do want to hit on how you said, like, it's a win-win, meaning like that's how I see business. Like, when you're
Mhm.
conducting business with somebody, you're literally trading value. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you're trading, like you said, bartering, but you're like
Yeah,
trading
bartering. Yeah.
value. You know what I mean? So when people say, "Oh, I don't want to sell," I'm like, bro, you trading value. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But and I will say, yeah, yeah. I only thing else I was gonna add to that was yeah, I don't have to add that, but yeah. So
So you're
yeah. So
so
I
one second.
definitely,
So
huh?
let's answer this question really quick because it's so
Oh
your
yeah.
conscious 1982. She asks, okay, guys, I have a question. Did you ever meet in real life? Yeah. And yes, and yes, yes, 1,000 times. Um.
Goodness.
So I don't know if you know, but Zay and I, we are together. This is my queen. I'm her king. You know, and we've been together for 4 years. And even though it's a long distance relationship, I mean, we've seen each other a lot of times. I would, before COVID, like I was traveling like all the time, like probably normally like 1 to 2 a year to see her.
every
And then
three
like
to six
even one
months.
of the years she came to see me as well, you know.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah,
used to live in Coventry as well, so that's another story.
yeah. So we do know each other in real life.
Yes, that's my girlfriend right there. That's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Not the girlfriend, but yeah, my real. She's my real girlfriend. That's my wife to be. You know what I mean? So
Um,
if that's what you wanted to know, yes, in real life I do know her in many ways.
um, but yeah, back to the
So yeah.
personal, back to the personal independence, personal economic development plan. So I guess like the question is like, what can we really do? What can we really do? I want to say the most interesting fact that has been like I heard it at like the beginning of 2020, when everything happened, and it just I just couldn't believe it. As far
Mhm.
as I just all these articles about it said the average American, I guess, don't have $500 to $1,000 in emergency reserves. Like that was like, again, maybe because again, maybe my life, maybe I just live under a rock or something. Um, I will say, and people who know me, they laugh at me all the time. Even my mom, like, because I'm very, very, I don't be out here just spending money on crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
very
yeah.
cautious with what I spend my money with. So, but it just tripped me out. Like I think I like heard that concept to always have that reserve just in case there's a rainy day. So again, I heard that boom, it's in my brain. That's how I live my life.
Mhm.
But and again, it just kind of shocked me because I'm like, all these people, all these credit cards, whatever. But yeah, so I heard the statistic that the average person does not have $500 to $1,000 in their account. And so I'm just like, dang, like that's just crazy. Like that's the
Yeah.
minimum. You know what I mean? I feel like number one should be the commitment to have ownership and responsibility for your financial future. But number
Mhm.
one, like we gotta have that reserve. So I think it's really important, and one thing, I read my personal finance book, so I think I'm all educated now. But I really want to just like share.
Congratulations.
I really just want to share, like throughout 2022, that's like a priority for me. I really just want to educate and repeat and educate and repeat, like to help
Mhm.
people realize it's important that we have our personal homes, our personal finances taken care of. So number one, I mean, after you commit to your financial security, your personal financial security, I think it's very important that we have $500 to $1,000 in reserves. And there's so many ways to do that. I mean, especially if you are already currently employed, you can
Mhm.
save. You know what I mean? A little bit, even if it's like $20 a check, $50 a check, until you reach that threshold. So that way, if anything happens, you can continue to live your lifestyle without you can continue to live your lifestyle without being hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
so if something happens, you have that extra reserve to pay it off or to put money up or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, and
And
then
even
also
in today's world, like it's like we're in a world where there's so many creative things we can do. And even just the saving aspect, educating ourselves and gaining comprehension, gaining understanding, so that we can actually be clear on the action we're taking as well. Because I don't know if you heard like the phrase like um proper comprehension breeds proper compensation. So you have to comprehend something before you can actually be compensated accordingly. So even that just comes with like the aspect of saving, and like, for example, you have like index funds and stuff like that.
yeah.
Those, or mutual funds, they act as a savings account. But there's a twist. They appreciate in value,
Hmm.
not a liability. So for example, like you have that cash under your couch or something, or you got the cash wherever just chilling there. it's a lie. It's technically a liability because it's just there doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just doing nothing. So,
Depreciating.
and it's not appreciating the value. So it's not going to appreciate. You're not going to appreciate it in your life, really.
Mm-hmm.
And also another thing is like just with the comprehension, it's like if it makes sense, it makes dollars, but it has to make but it making sense as in you have to understand. It has to make sense to you. So, for example, like let's say for example, oh you like, well you not you, but someone likes a drink, your favorite drink. What if you could earn money on that same drink that you drink? Let's say Coca-Cola, for example. Did you know that there is a company and they have what you call a public offering, a public stock, and you can invest in this stock, and as the company grows, and as you can keep consuming this item over time, your money will grow, and you can continue drinking your Coke or whatever you want to drink, but you still have
Yeah.
this the same money that is going to pay for that Coke that can go into some of the shares. Would you do that? Does that make sense to you? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like they have to meet themselves where they're at, and you meet other people where they're at in terms of like gaining a comprehension as well.
I will say whenever I drop my money, because with our business, I needed a new I bought an iPad, and when I dropped that money, Bo, the same day I was like, let me go ahead and buy me an Apple stock. I need the whole thing because I was feeling
Make
some
yourself feel
type of
better.
way. I was like,
And it's
I
up.
need
It's been up since, hasn't it? It has been up since. So that's.
it has, but I was feeling some type of way. I was like, let me go ahead and buy this Apple stock right now. But
I know,
yeah,
right?
I needed some of that. But yeah, I think but like you're saying, there are opportunities and there are resources out there for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm like, man, y'all, we should not be struggling, y'all. And I know it's probably some people like, oh my gosh, she's so bubbly or whatever. It's probably annoying, but I really just hate to see people struggle when we don't have to. Like, we don't have to struggle.
Mhm.
Like, there are opportunities. There
It's not.
are
It's really a choice now. Yeah.
especially and also like because it was said, like I was listening to like a YouTube video earlier, and it was talking about leverage, right? And leverage pretty
Mhm.
much meaning, babe, what does leverage mean? I always ask you this question. I understand it, but I don't know like the definition. What does leverage mean?
So I'm gonna actually go paint the picture. So imagine. Is leverage comes from the term lever. So it's to lift up. You're maximizing the advantage you have um, in an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, you have assets, you have money. When you're leveraging your money, you're maximizing the value of it. You're maximizing what you can do with it. So, by maximizing that, by leveraging it is you put this money somewhere and you're earning interest off it. That's leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you have a business, a franchise, and you're outsourcing it, and you have another partner who's helping you generate income as well as you generate income, that's leverage because
Mm-hmm.
you're taking away some of the percentage of effort that you had to put in and redistributing it somewhere else
Mm-hmm.
for it to grow. So it's like redistributing value and
Yeah.
helping it grow.
So I'm over here trying to remember. So like I was saying, I was listening to a YouTube video, and the guy, he was talking about the four types of leverages. I really don't remember the first two. I really don't remember. Well, I don't remember the first one. But the second one was labor leverage, meaning like in order to get a task done, you can leverage other people around you to help you do the work. But pretty much he was
Mm.
saying the way to
So
maximize
it's like
leverage,
the cash flow clock quadrant in a sense.
kinda, but he actually put a little twist on it. But he was like, because he said the best ways to maximize leverage is so like media leverage or
Mm.
like coding. I think he said coding leverage, but I don't know. But media leverage, like for instance, like there are so many like things, like you were saying, like is choosing not to take ownership of their finances, I guess. Oh, excuse me. It's really because they don't want to.
Yeah, because
Because
ownership is
there's so
freedom,
much
innit? Yeah, so
information out here and there's so much opportunity out here.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so I'm just really excited because, you know, even for myself, because and even in this video, I've been having these thoughts in my head like, oh my gosh, I hope people don't get offended um by me like saying certain things, but but I mean, honestly, it's just my truth. And also, I mean, I just
A
feel,
labor of love.
yeah, I just feel like
I'm gonna hear that phrase.
my intention is to help people. So this is definitely
Mhm.
going to be a journey for me because like just certain things that, it's just certain things that that you just have to be
Mhm.
unapologetic about. And I'm not
Yeah.
like super wealthy right now, but I just feel like the way I've lived my life, especially when it comes to money, I just feel like I've done things that a lot of people don't do. And also like I'm really just interested in that, so I
It's
really
true.
want to help like other people grasp the understanding, or like to try to help people, in their personal economic development plan, because we should not be struggling. And what I'm like having to tell myself is, some people really want to help, like, people become nurses to help sick people. Some people become teachers to help teach people. But my goal over the next year is really to learn as much as I can about money and business, and actually not just learn about it. I really want to experience all of it, like, do the things, but also educate myself along the way, and also just share that in value and content, because I like it's just I really want to help people be independent, and so they can be happier, and then really just empower other people. That's what I really really want to do. So
Yeah.
um so I'm
Yeah.
really excited about us sharing our 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 business goals and plans with other people,
Mhm.
and to help them especially financially, because it's just great. And then also like just realizing that you know if anything, like time had like technology has sped up. Like, I mean, there are still jobs out there. Every time I go to like a fast food restaurant or to a store,
Mhm.
like they have a sign saying we're hiring, so the jobs are still out there. But I mean,
Mm. But
these
no,
companies
yeah.
ain't gonna lose too much more money, because like I've already seen it in
Automation's coming. Yeah.
different countries. Like they got a whole bunch of AI out there that are replacing
Yep.
people. But we been knew that. Like we been knew that they are creating AI to replace us. So
Mhm.
it's like, what are we doing in order to make sure that we are irreplaceable? Either you are um adding so much value, investing in yourself, and becoming irreplaceable by learning skills and personal relationships. Or, I
Yeah.
mean, you doing nothing and you gonna be, I mean, like I said, there are jobs out there, but for your value, because I heard also like most jobs only pay us 1/4 of what we're actually worth. None of us are
Ooh.
actually getting, when we work in a job, we're not actually getting paid what we're actually worth. So I mean, it really is. I mean, if you're okay with that, do you, boo? Do the 40 years, 40 years retirement, whatever the plan was, do that. But for the way, these new generations are moving, and just the way,
Mhm.
technology and media and everything is moving, that plan it's been obsolete. But it's like either I feel like now with, the cryptocurrency and the NFTs and all that, I feel like for the first time in history, is um the playing field is pretty much even. Like if you want to, be in a different place financially within the next 5 to 10
Mhm.
years, now is the time to learn how to do that. You know what I mean? Like, because we're
Yeah.
entering a new, literally, universe. And my last thing I want to say, another cool thing that I heard is statistic from statistics, 88% of millionaires, because honestly, millionaires is the new six-figure earner. Like if you're making $1 million, I mean that's how technology and everything is speeding up. But the
Yeah.
88% of millionaires are self-made. So, I mean, we all can do it. We all can put ourselves in a better financial situation for ourselves now, but then also for our future generations.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, and it's like really adapting, like stop it, like not externalizing the relationship with the economy. The economy, you're part of the economy. The economy is within you unless you learn how to create your own economy, and have the
Mm-hmm.
mindset to internalize it and personalize your relationship with your economy and what value is around you, what value you bring as well to the marketplace, what value you can tap into within the world and the marketplace as well. And something I was just thinking about now is that like when we increase the worth of ourselves, we can increase the wealth for ourselves.
Mm.
So focus on yourself. When we focus on more on our self worth,
Mm-hmm.
like, and we actually know that we deserve to be wealthy, you know, that we're
Right.
capable of being wealthy, or we we actually have ambitions to be wealthy because we know what it represents. It represents less stress. It can represent less stress. It can represent more opportunities. It can represent um, the things that we've always wanted in life, that is possible in life. And then we would then because it starts in the mind now, the mind commands the body to move in that direction to obtain that wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it starts in the mindset. It's a consciousness. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone's watching, like, ask yourself, would you want to be poor, as in POOR, and pass over opportunities repeatedly?
Mm-hmm.
See, passing over opportunities repeatedly, that's a mindset. Like, that's an awareness. Like, you wasn't aware of the opportunity, so you passed over it.
Mm-hmm.
You had a choice to pass over the opportunity, and you passed over the opportunity. The
Mm-hmm.
opportunity is in front of you, and it's presenting itself to you, but the vision's blurred. You've externalized the relationship. It's not mentally like in alignment. It's not even you're not. There's no mental attachment to it, and it has to be in order to, because again, where focus goes, the energy flows. And when the energy flows, the currency goes as well.
Mm.
So it's one of those things. So again, whenever, like, put in the comments, like, do you have a plan for your personal economy, and are you
Mm-hmm.
developing it? You know, ask yourself, like, are you every day striving to increase your the worth of yourself so that you can have the mind, the body, the spirit, and the desire to increase the wealth for yourself? So those are the questions I'll leave for you. Yeah.
Yes, I think, yeah, I definitely comment that in the comments. And yeah, because I didn't do a title on this video, but I'm going to change it to your personal economic development plan. Um and what did you say? And I'll end it with a question. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's your plan?
Or should I call it, maybe I should call it money talk. What is your personal economic development plan? I think that's what I'm gonna do. Money
That's all
talk.
right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
really excited. I mean, like I said, we got a lot of things that
Feel
we
free to.
are going to be doing next year. And I mean, y'all, we can do anything. And we can do anything. We can do everything. And I know that's probably so cliche, but at the end of the day, so many people have proven that to us, and so many people are doing it. So why not us? You know what I'm saying? Why not you who's watching? We can do it as long as we're willing. All you do is got to have that willingness, right?
Yeah.
You just got to be willing. You got to be willing. Um you got to be willing. Like, that's, I feel like that's the, and you got to be you got to have faith. I think those are the two, like the two most important things: to be willing and have faith. So
Yeah.
without further
Yeah.
ado, definitely comment in the comments. Do you have anything else to add before I, because I went
No,
straight?
no, I was gonna add on to you, but we
Oh,
can
no,
end
no, no,
it.
keep going. You can add it. I mean, it is what it is.
No.
It seems like this is gonna be our total freedom hour, because we never get under like 30
Yeah.
minutes.
I know, right? I know, right? Time's ticking. No, but I'm joking. No. So I mean, because you said faith and stuff like that, I was like, I was just thinking to myself, everything around us was created by an unseen force.
Mm.
Yet we feel that everything has to be seen for us to believe it.
Mm. That is deep.
So it's like, yo, that's faith. That's faith right there. Like believing in that, believing in the unseen force, the
Wow.
unseen power of creation, the unseen power of abundance, the unseen power of wealth, the unseen power of possibilities. Like it's
Wow.
limitless. You are limitless. Like, you know, I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna stop there.
That was
I'm just
deep.
gonna stop there.
We
Like,
maybe that should be our talk for next Thursday, since it's gonna be the first week of January. I guess having faith and you know, because I feel like, and honestly, this is how I feel real quick, and then I'm gonna be done. But I honestly feel like if you have whatever you believe in, whomever you believe in, that spiritual source, whether it's God or, you
mhm.
know, Jesus or whomever, the universe, you know, whatever you believe in, I feel like if you really really believe in that, like if you really really believe in that, you would live your life unapologetically, and you would really live your life for real, like, you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah,
you wouldn't
it wouldn't be a
be
spirit of lack.
having
It
doubt,
was like, yeah,
you wouldn't be
there
having
wouldn't be
doubt,
doubt.
you wouldn't be counting yourself out, you wouldn't be like, well, you could do it but I can't. Like if you really were that spiritual, that religious, or whatever you want to say, if you really was really about that, like you would really be out here doing those things, or, you know, doing those things that's inside of you. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be worried about like, oh well, it's probably not going to work, what if I fail? Like, and I'm talking to myself right now. Like
Yeah.
if I'm really connected to the source, if I really really believe in the higher power, like why would I count myself out? Why would I not believe that all the things that are inside me are there for a reason? Why would I not, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
really the chosen one? That is something to think about, honey. That is so good. That is so good. Anyways, without
So
further
power in the
ado,
comments. Pow.
without further ado, y'all, what is your personal economic development plan for 2022? Again, like let us know. We should like comment in the comments, because your whatever you're doing could help the next person who just read the comments. Like that's what we're all
Mm-hmm.
here for. We're all here for a community. Um, but yeah, so without further ado, y'all, thank you for spending this moment with us. Babe, we need an outro. I don't even know the outro.
I know we need that. We do need that outro. We do need one.
But
We'll come up with one soon. Yeah.
put that in the comments. Let us know if you found value in this. Please hit the share button, y'all, and we will see you next Thursday.
Take care, everyone.